I'm Willow Hale. I'm with SAG Actor. I am affiliated with the WGA, and I'm here to support you guys. I don't want to come out and say producers are the bad guys. I don't like to think of bad guys and good guys. I just think that they knew this was coming up. They knew we were coming out of COVID, and that we were going to go ahead and strike anyway. You guys supporting you. I say we because I consider all unions to be we. So I don't like to think of them as bad guys. I just think that they need to come to the table as soon as possible, because otherwise we're going to really lose here in entertainment in Los Angeles. And then also just I don't want non-scripted, stupid reality shows. I don't. And I don't want my grandchildren looking at them. And that's what's going to happen if we don't support the writers. I'm sorry, this keeps coming out because I keep a little hair right here. You can edit this out.
Yes, we can edit. Yes, go ahead.
So in terms of the way it's structured in our American society and also in the entertainment business, you kind of expect people at the top to make a lot of money. That's the way it is. It's not divvied up. You know what I mean? But I do think the money's there. I don't want to hear that there's no money. The money's there. Eventually, they're going to have to come to the table, and eventually they're going to have to make some decisions, because I think ultimately we all want good entertainment, good television, good movies, and good acting, and good writing, and good producing, and good directing. And if we didn't have unions, we wouldn't have that. We would just have, I mean, look at British TV back, years ago. I lived over there for a short while back in the 70s, and I said, why is television so bad? It was terrible. You only had the BBC, and then everything else was trash. It's because they had no unions. Now we have great programs there.
Programs coming out of, yeah.
But if you don't have unions controlling things and making sure everybody's taken care of and it's proper and up to par, people will go with the lowest denominator, and you know that. You know that. They'll just put stuff on that is stupid and maybe even embarrassing, and people just tune in because it's stupid. Algorithms are followers, not leaders. They follow what already is, and human beings in their brilliance are the ones who are leaders. And it's great to have the computer follow up and print something out for you and maybe change a word or two or suggest something. I certainly don't want machines making decisions. No.
Can we reverse the trend that Great Britain has done, because they give copyright to the creators, which is not the case here. And they demand a percentage of the programming be produced by independents.
Oh man, I did not know that. Of course. Of course the creators should have copyright. Absolutely, and they should be paid, just like songwriters and books and everything else. I did not know that.
What happens if artists cannot make a living?
Oh God. Well then, we're going to have trash. I mean, that's just it. You see, this is a deep subject, though, because a lot of America, you go in the Midwest, and even people I've talked to that I'm friends with, don't understand a lot of things, how the way it works. And they get mad because they think, oh, my late night show is not on right now, and that makes me mad. And I said, well, the writers are on strike. And they go, well, you don't have anything to do with that. And I said, yes, they do. All the material you're seeing, that those comics are saying, and Jimmy Kimmel and everybody, it's written for them. It's written. They don't just go out and say it spontaneously. I said, that's what is great about professionals, is you think it's all happening in the moment, but there's writers behind everything. So if you don't have people who can actually depend on the next day they're going to be able to write something or act in something or direct something, they can't support their families. I think if most of America that are not in the cities, that are out, in the rest of the states, who just, they're so tuned in to entertainment. There's podcasts and web and television, film, everything. If they really knew the ins and outs and how it works as an industry and a business, they would be more hip, I think, to supporting us. Well, I think the future's already being reimagined. You know what I mean? There's so many independents going out. And you see it across the board. I mean, look at Tucker Carlson. You know what I mean? He's going out on his own show on Twitter. He said, I don't need studios, you know? So, I mean, it's happening already with a lot of independent filmmakers, and every kid is getting on YouTube, and, you know, it's TikTok. I mean, it's happening. You can't stop that. But, you know, I personally, probably because I'm old, but I like the idea of studios. I do. I like the idea of a place where I can go as an actress and work, and that there's kind of a team effort, you know what I mean, conglomeration, and it has history behind it, and it has already sets that you can still use for a city or a ranch or New York or whatever. So I kind of like the studios.
For the continuity, the resources.
Yeah,
tradition.
and just the history of it, of cinema and television. It makes me happy.